to Honorables, Your Excellency Hussein Bagis, the Ambassadors of the Republic of Indonesia to UAE in Abu Dhabi, and Your Excellency Ridwan Hassan, Consul Generals of the Republic of Indonesia to UAE in Dubai, the respective representative from Batam Free Trade Zone, Mr. Duyanto Eko Mario, is the Deputy Chairman for Business Facilities of Batam Free Trade Zone Authority, who will travel all the way from Indonesia to Dubai. And warm regard to Indonesians business people, members of Indonesia Business Councils, IDBC, as well as from Indonesia Investment Promotion Center, IBC Abu Dhabi, and Indonesia Investment Coordinating Board from Jakarta, and Indonesian Trade Promotion Center, ITPC Dubai. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ari Muhammad Iqbal, and welcome to Indonesia Country Presentations as a part of the 9th Annual Investment Meeting 2019. First and foremost, I would like to thank you to all of you to allocating your time to attend this event. Indonesia Country Presentations will be an interesting session where you could learn about how Batam Free Trade Zones position itself as Indonesia Global Commercial Zone to foreign investors, as well as the key ingredients how to invest in Indonesia. Very well. Following that, there will be 4 sessions in this event today. First, welcoming remarks from the Excellency of Indonesia, and opening remarks from Mr. Hussein Bagis, the Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia. And second is presentations, and the third is investment testimony, and the last but not least is Q&A. To begin these programs, we are pleased to have Your Excellency Mr. Ridwan Hassan, Consul General of the Republic of Indonesia, to deliver welcoming remarks. Your Excellency, the stage is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I would like to express our appreciation to you all. نشكركم بحضوركم في هذا المجلس. We are very happy to have you all to attend Indonesian country presentation today on Indonesian investment opportunities during the annual investment meeting here in Dubai. It's really a great honor for us to be part of this very important event, and as you might know, almost every year since the beginning of this AIM, Indonesia always present this event. And just for your information, last night we are honored to have the royalty award from the committee of the annual investment meeting in Dubai because of our presentation and also our collaboration with United Arab Emirates and also the business communities from all over the world. Let me begin by thanking the committee of this annual investment meeting 2019 and colleagues from Indonesian Investment Coordinating Board, namely the Indonesian Investment Promotion Center of Batam, Free Zone Authority, who gave the level best to arrange and coordinate in ensuring these events runs well. Allow me to again mention that, as you might know, Indonesia is a huge country with vast opportunities, known for its abundant natural resources and equipped with young labor force. Indonesia's economy grew at the fastest pace in half a decade in 2018, despite a marked weakening for export late in the year as shipment to key markets shrank. The country's gross domestic product grew 5.70% last year, according to statistics of Indonesia. Although there will be a major political agenda with the upcoming election, as you might know, we are now entering the very important political democratic life in Indonesia. We are going to have the election on the 17th of April, just a few days to go. Indonesian economy is surely still hold the potential of becoming a powerhouse in Asia with a market of around 260 million people. The government is content to hold a gold political will to provide welfare for the Indonesian through making investor-friendly policies in infrastructure, tourism, agriculture, maritime and creative industry, as well as halal products. Indonesian Central Bank predict an economic growth between 5.5% in 2019 and supported by high domestic demand from increased social spending and strong labor market. Indonesia's growth outlook remains substantial to becoming one of the emerging market economies of the world. For this reason, I think it's very important you take your part and role in Indonesia, and we are waiting for you for that. Indonesian foreign exchange reserve by the end of February 2019 was quite high at 123 billion US dollar, equivalent to financing almost 7 months of import and payment of government foreign debt. Strengthening export, including the performance of the tourism sector on controlling import, will continue to be pursued so that the current account deficit in 2019 can reach the range of 2.5% of the GDP. Strategic policies are directed to attract capital flows to finance the current account deficit, such as creating special economic zones like Batam Free Trade Zone. You will listen from the right person from the Batam Investment Authority about the potential of having doing investment in that area. Just a click ahead from Singapore, the Batam Island is one of the very promising area in Indonesia. Are apt to make geo-economic and geo-advantages for inviting investment into Indonesia. I wish this presentation today will cater to the interest of investors, of you all here. Thank you very much. Ahlan wa sahlan bikum fil Indonesia. You are mostly welcome to come to Indonesia. Any part of the country, you are mostly welcome. We have 17,000 islands. You choose one of them, then we will be with you all the time. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And next, we are pleased to have Your Excellency, Sir Lusin Magis, the Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia, to deliver the opening remarks. Your Excellency, the stage is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan fi Dubai for all Indonesia here, and of course today we will meet all my friends from Jakarta to discuss the opportunity for investment in the country. Very welcome to all of you, dear respected investor and business people representing companies and institutions from various sectors in Emirat and from the region. My appreciation are also due to the representative from Indonesia Investment Coordinating Board and Batam Authority who had participated at the 9th Annual Investment Meeting 2019. And welcome to Indonesian business people in Emirat and members of Indonesia Business Council. My warm regards also to the moderator, Excellency Consul Jenderal Ridwan Hassan, and to respected presenter from Batam Authority. Without further ado, let me begin by informing you that Indonesia will have its presidential election in a few days. But I can guarantee whoever the people of Indonesia chosen as our next president, he will not have any other choice rather than to create prosperity for the people by maintaining economic growth, creating jobs, boosting export, sustaining trust from international community, and develop conducive business climate for foreign and domestic investors in Indonesia, especially for our priority investment sector of infrastructure, manufacturing, maritime, agriculture, tourism, and lifestyle industry. Indonesia is a piece of heaven, or in Arabic we call it Kitah Al Jannah. We are now home of the world's 4th largest population with more than 260 million. half of those are labor force, half of those are active internet and social media users, and quarter of those are within middle income class. Successfully sustain our economic growth of about 5% during the last 10 years. Now we join G20, the $1 trillion club, or even we are the 16 countries in the world who GDP more than $1 trillion now. Furthermore, Pricewaterhouse predicted us to be the fifth largest economy by 2030 and the fourth by 2050. During the last 6 years, Indonesia Investment Coordinating Board recorded total of $176 billion of global foreign direct investment has been realized in my country, Indonesia. Emirat was the biggest FDI contributor from GCC countries, with total investment around $220 million, excluding investment at upstream oil and gas and financial service sector, as well as Emirat investment made from other countries. Few instances of iconic FDI from Emirat Indonesia are Mubadalah Petroleum, operate 5 oil and gas blocks in Indonesia, and then Dubai Islamic Bank also has big share in the Bank Panis Syariah in Jakarta, as well as operation of Lulu Group International and Landmark Group Indonesia. With that mind, please join me to learn how Batam Trade Zone position itself as Indonesia Global Commercial Zone to foreign investors, as well as key ingredient on how to invest in Indonesia from the next presenter. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And now let's move forward to the next sessions. We would like to invite to the stage to Mr. Dwianto Eko Winario, the Deputy Chairman for Business Facilities of Batam Free Trade Zone Authority, Riau Island Province, Indonesia, and to Mr. Dervino Rizky Noviapsa, the Director of Indonesia Investment Promotion Center in Abu Dhabi. Without further ado, the first presentations on Batam Global Commercial Zone will be delivered by Mr. Dwianto Eko Winario, the Deputy Chairman for Business Facilities of Batam Free Trade Zones Authority. Please, sir.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good afternoon to us all. Your Excellency, the Ambassador of Republic of Indonesia in Abu Dhabi, Mr. Musin Badis. Your Excellency, Consul General Republic of Indonesia in Dubai, Mr. Ibrahim Hassan. Honorable Director of Indonesia Investment Promotion Center, IDC in Abu Dhabi, Ms. Rizky Noviapsa. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, may I say apologize from our chairman, but that intent he will be here, Mr. Edi Putra Irawadi, but he had another meeting that quite important relating with the fight of Indonesia and with other producers of palm oil in Brussels. So he apologized that he cannot be here, so he sent me to as his deputy chairman to represent him. It is a great pleasure for me to be here today at the country presentation to share with you the investment opportunities, especially in Batam. First of all, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the Consulate General of the Republic of Indonesia in Dubai, United Emirates Arab, and the Indonesia Investment Coordinating Board (BKPM), whose valuable support allow us to meet at this seminar today. So, if you do not really know where is Batam is, so we are in the part of west of Indonesia. Batam is strategically located in the hub of Southeast Asia. It is located only 20 kilometers away from Singapore, right at a major international shipping lane. It is only 45 minutes by ferry, right from Singapore, Just like other parts of the world, Batam is evolving and shifting, moving from manufacturing to services sectors. Manufacturing activities in Batam support services industry for developed countries. Batam has a convenient and competitive site for assembling industry, warehousing, and regional and world market distribution. Batam as entry point for non-FTA countries which support the policies of an inline FTA, free trade zone, and currently we are moving forward to ending the special economic zone. So in Batam we had quite you can say complete infrastructure. So we have in here 4 seaports and 5 international ferry terminals. We have an international airport that the runway is more than 4 kilometers length, and then we also have the electricity of more than 500 megawatt. And the telecommunication line is also directly connect with the fiber optic to international lines with Singapore, and more than 1,600 kilometers paved of road segment. And in Batam, because we don't have any natural spring or natural resource of water, we kind of block the sea and become a dam. So we have 7 clean water reservoirs that supply the water to for Batam. Batam offers a strategic location, space, availability, abundant labor supply, and fully government support. On top of that, Batam has the advantage of having a well-developed modern infrastructure. Industrial growth in Batam has shown improvement from time to time. Despite some fluctuation, Batam remains attractive among foreign investors. Our closest neighbor, Singapore, including foreign companies based in Singapore, is the largest investor currently, with a total of 743 million US dollar between 2013 to 2018, followed by Luxembourg, China, and Malaysia. So I show you, this is the new projects that coming and will be start in Batam. So there are some of the recent investment projects in Batam representing the various staff of industry and countries. So if you see on the number 4, Pegatron is the second largest of iPhone assembler in the world. And currently on the end of last year, they choose and decided to have the investment in Batam. Currently, they are already have an agreement with one of the local that assembling their equipment, PT Santosa Persada. So they had a contract from Pegatron to assembling the Wi-Fi router for home smart appliance, and is already shipped export to USA last month. The first shipment is inaugurated by our Vice President of Indonesia. These are some recent investment projects in Batam that willing to have an expansion of the existing companies, They are having been in Batam for many years. This indicated a strong vote of confidence. So we have some of the companies that willing to do an expansion. So you see from PT Siba Vision Batam, they are in the contact lens industry. They are certified by the Minister of Health in USA. The Excelitas Technology Batam is producing the pyroelectric sensor and specialty lamp for scientific camera. So it's a very small lamp that used to have the action of endoscopy and such thing. PT Rubicon Indonesia is a capacitor industry. They're willing to expand their production and added investment value about 4 million US dollar. PT Nok Asia Batam, PT Six, and PT Infineon Technology Batam we are quite proud that the Infineon technology is come from Germany. They are especially producing the IC chips for all electronics gadget in the world. So they produce the chip in Batam, and the chip is sent to all over the world who plant in the gadget like the automotive, handphone, communication devices, and everything that need the IC chips. So in Batam we have 24 industrial estate. Industrial growth in Batam is supported by readily of the available industrial park. Investor can choose from the variety of facilities and services offered by this in the retail estate. These are the part of the multinational companies who have invested a total about 66 million USD up to February this year. Some recent addition, like I said before, is a Pegatron and some young corporation. So this is the company that already invested in Batam. Batam is also known as a home for a shipyard industry. We have about 105 companies in operation. Yes, the last 3 years there's been a descending of activity in Batam, but this is contributing 50% of the shipyard industry in Indonesia. So due to the global crisis in the past 3 years, it was slowing down. But this year, the shipyard industry is picking up with the new global orders. Besides those industries that I mentioned before, we are also focusing on the creative digital industry. So currently, Batam had the Kinema Infinite Animation and Movie Studio that produced some of the cartoons that also showed in the Disney Channel and the Disney the kids channel. So you know Garfield. Some of the posted episodes of the Garfield also made by the Kinema Infinite Animation. Kinema Infinite Animation and Movie, the studio had produced some of the award-winning movies and animation. And also we have the Nongsa Digital Park. This Nongsa Digital Park is dedicated park for digital industry with support and close collaboration with the Singapore. So if you have watched HBO, there is one of the series that called Grease. That full episode of the series Grease is 100% produced in Batam, within the studio and outside the studio. So we're really proud of the Nongsa Digital Park that can produce such kind of quality movie or quality series that being shown in the HBO. Batam is not only known for its industrial development but also for its golf course. So if a lot of you love to play golf, in those islands of Batam, we have 7 golf courses. So today, in 2 days, you can play in the morning, afternoon, and the next day you can play again morning and afternoon with the different courses, because we have 7 courses. We have also 2 marinas and 70-star hotels. Batam is now the 3rd gateway for foreign investor to Indonesia. Last year, more than 2.25 million foreigner visitors visited Batam. So we are currently number 3rd in Indonesia. The first gateway is Bali, the second gateway is Jakarta, and we are the 3rd. For east access, Batam International Airport has direct flight to major cities in Indonesia and can charter to international charter flight. We've currently been open the direct flight also from Incheon, Busan, from Republic of Korea, and also from Guangzhou and Shenzhen. So, but it's still a chartered, it's not a regular flight, but we would like to have that as a regular flight. Being across the strait of the Singapore and Malaysia allows commuting to or from Singapore and Malaysia with 170 and 50 return ferry trips respectively. So you can choose from the ferry from the 6 a.m. until the last one is about 8:30 p.m. So it's quite a lot of scheduled ferry that you can use directly from Singapore or from Malaysia. We are offering the following investment project at the Batam Special Economic Zone. So we would like to have a tourism, medical, care, education, logistic, financial district, import and export. So in the tourism, maybe what factory outlet that maybe it fit or can be put in our. We have a memorial park that couple 10 or 20 years ago, there is refugees that come from Vietnam and live in Batam about 10 to 15 years, and then they go back to the Vietnam. So we have that camp as a memorial park. We call it Galang Vietnam Humanity Memorial Park. And also we have a deer park also in Batam. We have a natural adventure park. We have a sport hall that can fit 150,000 audience that also can do a mice meeting incentive and center exhibition. We would like also to have the international university and vocational training, and one of the goals that we would like to have in Batam is the import of substitution industry, such as pharmacy, medical devices, components, petrochemical, raw sugar, and dairy products. Batam serves as an entry point to non-FTA countries which support the policy of inland FTA, free trade zone, and special economic zone. So this month we will roll out the process to have the Hang Nadiem airport, our airport in Batam, to be a special economic zone. We also already start to roll out the Nongsa Digital Park that I mentioned earlier to become also the special economic zone. And one of the area in Batam also agreed to change to be an e-commerce with the status of a special economic zone. So within this year, we hope that we're gonna have this tree of special economic zone, and we hope that it's getting more and more that interested to be changed from the transforming from the free trade zone to the special economic zone, because the incentive is more in the special economic zone area rather than in the free trade zone area. Because in the special economic zone you have the tax holiday, the tax incentive, and a lot of facility that you can get. Maybe Mas Rizky will elaborate you more about that. But again, we're not trying to change the free trade zone, but we're adding the incentive to those who want, the investor that wants to have that kind of facilities. With the online single submission, currently we already rolled out. Last year we rolled out we call it OSS, online single submission. For licensing and business licensing, Batam is a model of a new investment system in Indonesia. So Batam is one of the pilot project, and is quite different from other area because all the land in Batam is belong to BP Batam, so it's different like the other area. Coordination and planning has been developed to ensure that the investment climate and investor is confident in Batam. So the OSS is going to serve you as the system that you do not need to meet the bureaucratic anymore. So you only have the, we call it NIB, nomor induk berusaha, so business identification number, and then you get that. Well, Mr. Rizky will elaborate more about that because he's now holding that system in their respective department. So come to the conclusion, why invest in Batam? So Batam Free Trade Zone has several advantages. These are the reason why we invite you to invest in Batam, because this investment incentive, which are exemption of the import and export tax, exemption on the VAT, GST facility, double taxation avoidance agreement with Japan and 56 other countries, and highly competitive investment and operation costs. With all these initiatives, Batam offers a conducive and attractive business location that now is the best time to invest in Batam. Before I close my presentation today, I would like to personally invite you all to visit to Batam, either individually or in group. It is only a short ferry ride from Singapore. If you have not visited Batam before or have not visited Batam for a while, please plan a trip this year. We will assist you with relevant business appointments to ensure a fruitful trip for you. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Mr. Duento. There was a very quiet, promising business opportunity in Batam, isn't it? And the second presentation on how to invest in Indonesia will be delivered by Mr. Delvino Rizky Novianza, Director of Indonesia Investment Promotion Center, Abu Dhabi.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good afternoon to all of the participants of Indonesia country presentation, especially Your Excellencies, our Ambassador, our Consul General, His Excellency the Honorable Sharif Al Natur, who already traveled far away from Morocco to Dubai. Thank you very much for coming. Also participants from Saudi Arabia, from Europe probably, some of you. Thank you very much for coming. And most welcome as well to three investors who will be giving their testimony this afternoon, from Landmark Group, from GDTC, also from Nicolette Chief Odil from Okado. Thank you very much for coming. And also welcome to all business people from Indonesia. Actually, Indonesian business people who are based in this country, the UAE. Inshallah, within coming days or weeks, we will gonna initiate or establish our Indonesia Business Council, inshallah. Okay, so without further ado, I would like to do like very brief presentation about why to invest in Indonesia. Okay, and thank you very much as well for my colleague Mr. Bianto for the very brilliant presentation about Batam Free Trade Zone. Yes. Okay, speaking about investment, so actually in Indonesia, investment is consisted of foreign direct investment and domestic direct investment. If we are looking at the trend for the last 6 years, so actually in terms of the figures, it is increasing by the average growth of 7.81. Even though 2017 to 2018, the growth is not very high, but after the election, post-election, 2019 and 2020, we are expecting to see further growth of FDI and DDI. And speaking about FDI itself, the growth is very good actually during the last 5 years. So actually the average growth will reach 3.36%, and the same condition also applied. We're expecting more FDI will be flowing to the country post the election. So actually we're expecting 32.28 billion US dollars of FDI will be coming to Indonesia by end of this year, inshallah. And as already previously mentioned by our ambassador, so actually within the GCC countries, UAE is the biggest investor. And speaking about priority sectors of investment, even though Indonesia is a piece of heaven, I mean a lot of opportunities, business opportunities, investment opportunities in Indonesia, but our government putting priorities to at least 6 big sectors: infrastructure, manufacturing industry, maritime, agriculture for food security and also for export, tourism. Probably you've heard about 10 new Balis that would like to replicate the Bali model to another 10 tourism destinations all over the country, as well as lifestyle industries. Lifestyle industries is about like startups, IT startups, because I heard that I trust one company would like to expand to Indonesia in the healthcare startup industries. It will be one of our priority sectors, inshallah. And as well as department stores, it will be considered as lifestyle industries, of course. Agribusiness. And what about the general FDI policies? So actually we treat the same between FDI and DDI, and we have also a list of the sectors, even though almost all sectors, especially industry sectors, is open 100% for FDI, but for certain very selected sectors, foreign investors need to have joint ventures with local partners in Indonesia. And we applied also minimum capex of the investment of 10 billion IDRs, around like 700,000 US dollars of the projects. And there are a number of ways for you to establish your presence in Indonesia. The most famous way is to establish an LLC or limited liability company. We call it in Indonesia PT. But there are another way as well. You can establish representative offices in Indonesia. General representative offices for the preparation of setting up an LLC in Indonesia, foreign trade representative offices in Indonesia. You can also establish construction as well as oil and gas representative offices in Indonesia in the preparation to join a bit of oil and gas, and also to get potential suppliers or exporters from Indonesia. And there is guarantee from our government that there will be no nationalization, no expropriation from the government. And free cash flow is applied in Indonesia, so you are freely to repatriate your capitals, your dividends, your royalties. Of course, I mean some withholding tax rate is applied. But since we have double tax agreement with more than 50 countries, so the withholding tax is reduced to 5 to 0% for withdrawing of capital or dividends to certain countries. Foreigners is allowed to own land in Indonesia, and the land title will be depend on the business sectors. For agriculture, we have right to cultivate, which will be valid for a total of 90 years. For manufacturing, for other kind of activities that you need to construct something on the purchased land, the right to build land title or certificate will be given for the total period of 80 years, as well as for property, the right of using or right to use will be given for the total period of 80 years. And foreigners is also allowed to purchase villas and also apartment in Indonesia for certain requirements. And also minimum price also applied for areas across Indonesia. And speaking about the incentives which are given by Indonesian government, we need to understand the flow of goods, the flow of capitals in Indonesia, which is related to the incentives which are given by the government. So every production activities which are related to importing goods as capital goods or as raw material, there will be import duty and excise applied, and also import VAT, import income tax, and luxurious goods sales tax applied. But for certain area, for example, for export oriented areas like bonded logistic zones, and also like for free trade zone areas, and also special economic zones. So all tax and duties are exempted or postponed, or non-collection of all those duty and taxes related to import. And if the company is making the profit, of course they need to prepare their financial statements, all those four financial statements. And one of the statement is the profit and loss statement. It will be related to another incentives given by the Indonesian government for certain select sectors. For example, tax holiday. Tax holiday is the absence of paying corporate income tax for certain years. We are giving for 18 selected sectors with minimum investment of $1 trillion or around like 70 million US dollars of tax holiday. So for tax holiday, you don't need to pay corporate income tax at all for a certain period of time, like for 5 until maximum 20 years. There are also what's so-called tax allowance facilities. Speaking about tax allowance is your earning before tax is deducted by certain percentage, generally like 30% of your fixed capital investment. Even currently the government is discussing the super deduction tax, like 300% of tax deduction, so that your earning before tax will be deducted by that 300% of investment limit for selected sectors. And another things need to be considered is about the withholding tax. Currently we have already our double taxation agreement with more than 50 countries, including with UAE, of course. So meaning by having that kind of tax treaty, so withholding tax for interest, for dividend as well, but it will be reduced from the normal 20% into 5%. For interest, it will be reduced to 0%. And also for certain sectors like oil and gas sectors, the branch profit tax will be reduced to as low as 5%. And in Indonesia, there are no exports and duties related to exports. So you are free to export any goods processed in Indonesia for free. So except for selected commodities, certain commodities like CBO and wood, cocoa, leathers, there is very less export duties. And actually, those are all incentives already spoken before. So for all new investment, it's exemption for import duties and also taxes related to imports like import income tax, VATs, it will be all exempted. Tax allowance, tax holiday already discussed it before. Reduction of withholding tax, it will be depending on the country of origin. And this is also, we have also fiscal incentives which is related to the location of your investment. For free trade zone, I think my dear colleague Dwianto already discussed about the facilities. So probably currently the most famous area or incentives which are offered by the government is special economic zones. Currently we have 12 special economic zones, 10 already operated, 2 under construction, and more to come, including in Batam special economic zones. So special economic zones in Indonesia probably similar with free zones here in UAE, because in special economic zones there will be no maximum restriction of ownership for FDI, so can be 100% by FDI, just like free zone in here. And there will be tax facilities, corporate income tax facilities, probably because in here CIT is 0, so it will be much more the same as special economic zones in Indonesia, free zones in here. Okay, and those are 12 special economic zones currently developed by Indonesian government. Lastly, our President Jokowi inaugurated the last 3 special economic zones. So currently we have 10 special economic zones under operation. And each special economic zones have their own topics or themes. So if you are investing in any of those special economic zones within their main topics, for example, for a special economic zone Tanjung Lesung, if your investment is on tourism sectors, and within minimum capex, so you will be given tax holiday facilities, so the absence of paying corporate income tax for certain years. But if your investment is outside the main theme of the SEZ, tax allowance facility will be given to you, so the reduction of your earning before tax by 30% of fixed capital meter. Okay, and this is about online single submission. So previously discussed by my colleague Mr. Bianto. So July last year, we just launched our new system, online single submission. So by this system, we try to integrate all business licenses or licenses related to doing business or investment in Indonesia. I think some of colleagues here, some of the company already experienced with OSS. So by this OSS, what investors need to do is firstly they need to approach notary or lawyers to establish a PT or LLC in Indonesia. Once they've got their PT established, so they can just register themselves into the system, get the user ID and passwords, and then just need to enter all the required information, and then an ID or single business ID will be given by the system. And we are currently trying to provide all licenses to be processed in this system, especially business licenses to start to operate a business, also commercial and operating licenses to sell your products or anything related to distribute your products in Indonesia or to export your products outside Indonesia. Well, I think that's all of my presentation. I think we can have further discussion after this, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dalfinger. As our ambassador mentions, during the last 6 years, 2013 until 2018, Indonesia Investment Coordinating Board recorded 174.93 billion US dollars of global FDI has been realized in Indonesia. So there's no doubt to invest in Indonesia. Very well, ladies and gentlemen, so let's moving on to the next sessions is investment testimony. The first investment testimony will be delivered by Your Excellency, the Honorable Mr. Sharif Ahmad bin Zukir bin Muhammad bin Zabir Al-Nadur, Chairman of the Board of the Directors and the President Directors of the Executive Board of GDTC. And there's a footage videos.
GDTC has already begun an investment in Indonesia to develop an integrated modern sugar mill alongside a 20,000 hectare cattle ranch in East Nusa Tenggara in north-central Timor. Indonesia, through GDTC's expertise and investment, will produce much-needed sugar while generating energy from waste, electricity, and bioethanol. A first-of-its-kind, zero-waste, self-sustaining sugar plant. Another innovative agricultural project is to develop the plantation of Malaya pinnata trees to produce biodiesel utilizing the oil contained in the seeds. First of such a plantation and production unit will be established in the Green City in Morocco. GDTC plans to develop a guarana plantation in Malaysia. Guarana is a healthy crop that serves as a stimulant for dietary supplements, energy drinks, cosmetic products, and health supplements. GDTC is continuously identifying high-yielding crops and is keenly looking for partnerships to cultivate them in commercial scale all across the world. The planning process for implementing projects in 19 sectors are already underway. Some of the projects GDTC is currently investing in and developing are sugar, fragrant rice, fisheries, halal beef packaging projects in Indonesia.
Very much, Your Excellency.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I would like to give a brief introduction to His Excellency Sharif Ahmad bin Zuhair bin Muhammad bin Jaber al-Natur. He is currently the chairman of the board of directors and the president of the executive board of GTTC Group of Companies, a premier investment and project development conglomerate. And for your information, Sharif Ahmad flew all the way from Morocco to UAE and he arrived yesterday evening to attend this conference.
أصحاب السيادة، أصحاب السعادة، سعادة سفير دولة إندونيسيا His Excellency Hussein and Consul and from Bataan. I love Bataan and I like every man go see Bataan, invest in Bataan. And I give my best friend Mr. Razaki from مدير مركز تطوير الاستثمار في اندونيسيا IBC والسادة رجال الأعمال المحترمين.
Your Excellencies, His Excellency Hussein Bagis, the Ambassador of Indonesia and the Consul General of Indonesia, and Mr. Diwanto Winario, Deputy Chairman of Business Facilities of Bhutan, and my dear friend Mr. Rizki, the Director of Indonesian Investment Promotion Center, IIPC, and respected business delegates who have attended this. Assalamu alaikum.
أنا يشرفني أن أقف أمامكم لإطلاعكم على موجز عن نشاط مجموعتنا الاستثمارية في أندونيسيا.
It is my honor to stand here before you to share a brief story about my investment activities in Indonesia.
وبصفتي مطور رئيسي تركز مجموعتنا مجموعة شركات لتطوير التكنولوجيا وتشييد البناء GTTC الرائدة في الاستثمار في مشاريع الاقتصاد الأخضر والتنمية المستدامة والعدالة الاجتماعية في إطار اتفاقية الأمم المتحدة للتغيرات المناخية.
As a master developer, GTTC International is focused on the advancement of green economy, renewable energy, and sustainable development projects within the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change.
وتستثمر وسوف تستثمر مجموعة شركات GTTC لتطوير التكنولوجيا وتشييد البناء وتدبير مشاريع عديدة في قطاعات مختلفة للأعمال الاستراتيجية في 176 دولة في القارات السبعة.
GTTC invests in, develops and manages projects and also intends to invest and develop and manage projects in several strategic business sectors in 176 countries and regions in the 7 continents of the world.
مجموعتنا GTTC لتطوير التكنولوجيا وتشييد البناء مؤخرا أسست شركتين كبرى في أندونيسيا لتنفيذ مشاريعنا وتبلغ القيمة الاستثمارية الإجمالية مليار دولار أمريكي.
Currently, I have established 2 companies in Indonesia to execute my projects with total investment plan of more than $1 billion US.
الشركة الأولى هي شركة عبارة عن للصناعات الزراعية في شمال إقليم تيمور الوسطي وشرق الإقليم لتطوير تقنيات ما توصل إليها التكنولوجيات لإنتاج واستخراج السكر. والحكومة الأندونيسية مشكورة أعطتنا 22 ألف هكتار لإنشاء المرحلة الأولى لزراعة السكر.
The projects is based on two mega projects. Number one, PT GTTC Indonesia Agro Industry in North Central Timur Regency, East Nusa Tenggara Province, to develop integrated modern sugar mill alongside 20,000 cattle ranch to produce sugar, energy from waste and bioethanol. The second project, PT GTTC Valverian Steel Indonesia in Southeast Sulawesi to develop nickel mining and processing industry.
من خلال خبرتي فعملنا في إدارات المنطقة الوسطى والأقاليم في أندونيسيا في الأقاليم في أندونيسيا متعاونين معنا جدا، وهذه هي الحقيقة. أنا ذهبت إلى أندونيسيا ولقيت مساعدات كبرى ودعم المستثمرين الأجانب.
From my experience, people from central and regional governments in Indonesia have been and are very cooperative and helpful in supporting foreign investors. And I personally spent time in Indonesia and I have witnessed this good and cooperative and helpful from the people of Indonesia.
وخاصة أنا أشكر رئيس دولة أندونيسيا ورئيس الوزراء أندونيسيا ووزارة المالية والبنوك، وخاصة شكري الكبير إلى الشعب الأندونيسي لإعطاء مجموعتنا شركات GTTC الفرصة للمساهمة في مشاريع الاقتصاد، تنمية الاقتصاد في أندونيسيا، وكله ثقة سيخلق منها مجالات وخلق وظائف خضراء والمحافظة على حياة الإنسان.
I wish to thank the Indonesian government, the President, the Prime Minister, the Finance Minister of the government of Indonesia, and the banks in general in Indonesia, and Indonesian people for providing GTTC an opportunity to contribute towards the growth of Indonesian economy, including the jobs which will be created in Indonesia.
وأخيرا أنا بشكر هيئة الاستثمار الأندونيسية برئاسة السيد رزق على تعاونهم معنا، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
I am sure together we will make significant progress towards improving quality of life for Indonesian citizens, and I'm looking forward to a long-term strategic relationship with Indonesian government and the people, and specific thanks to Mr. Rizik, the Director of Indonesia Investment Promotion Center, IIPC. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And the next investment testimony will be delivered by Mr. Ramanathan Hariharan, the Group Director and Board Member of Landmark Group. The stage is yours, please.
Good afternoon to all of you, and His Excellency Ambassador of Indonesia, His Excellency Consul General of Indonesia, Mr. Devanto, Deputy Director of Batam, and Mr. Ricky, the Director of the Indonesian Investment Board. Thank you for giving us this opportunity today, right, to share some of our great experiences that we have had in Indonesia in launching our retail operations in the country. Landmark Group is one of the largest retail groups in GCC, Middle East and India. And we see the opportunity in Southeast Asia and Indonesia as a great opportunity for us to be able to carry forward some of our success that we have had in this part of the world and then go and serve the consumers and also be able to engage with the citizens at large in the new part of the world. So we see it as a great opportunity, and as a person who has been leading this project initiative from the Landmark Group, I've been sort of be the inspiration for the group to try and take the group beyond this Middle East and India to another part of the world. I'm just requesting my colleague Swarti and Anurag to share some of the experiences because they have spent a lot of time on the ground and they will be able to share all the experiences. Thank you.
Thank you, Ram. So, just to kind of brief you about Landmark Group, couple of slides of who we are. So, we are the largest non-food retailer in Middle East, Africa and India. In terms of operations, we started in the year 1973 in a country called Bahrain. We started as baby shop, and from there with time we expanded with other brands like Max, Splash, Lifestyle, and we grew across countries. We moved to India, we moved to Africa, and last couple of years we have been expanding aggressively in Southeast Asia. So that's about the group history. It's a 46-year-old group, and we are expanding heavily into Southeast Asia at this point in time. Moving on, I think a broad picture about the kind of brands we have and our operations. Our key brands are Centerpoint, Baby Shop, Max, Lifestyle, all into retail but serving different categories. Some are into furniture, some are into beauty, some are into fashion, clothing. So we kind of are a one-stop shop for entire family. So that's about our brands, and most of our brands are our homegrown brands. We started those brands ourselves, and those have grown into household names in entire Middle East. In terms of Southeast Asia, I mean, as we perceive the entire economy, it's a huge market. It's one of the largest emerging markets in the world, valued at about $2.5 trillion at this point in time. Out of that, Indonesia is the biggest chunk, with about 265 million population, a growing middle class, and about a consistently 5% GDP year-on-year growth. So that's the opportunity Indonesia presents to all of us. Moving on, the other big advantage about Indonesia is the retail market. It is currently valued about $360 billion US, and as you can see, if you compare all the top ASEAN countries, it is by far almost 3x, 4x of the other countries. So for us, Indonesia is a huge opportunity in terms of retail, and that's the key focus at this point in time. In terms of geography, Indonesia, I'm sure all of you might be knowing, it's one of the largest archipelago in the world, with about 16,000 islands and a growing infrastructure investment happening from the government side. And that's the reason we as investors are very confident of kind of expanding aggressively into that country. The other good part is in terms of the social media or the digital penetration in Indonesia. Facebook, Twitter, all rank Indonesia as one of their top markets. So that shows in terms of if it's a startup, if it's a retail company wanting to expand into e-commerce or other channels, Indonesia is one of the topmost markets that one should invest in. in terms of the age split by population, you see almost 56% of the population is below 29 years of age. That shows a population with a, I mean, in terms of an ample labor supply, ample skill set in the market, and a population which, as retailers, as investors, we can serve them. So that's the opportunity for in terms of Indonesia. In terms of Landmark Group's journey, we started, we got the business license in January 2018. It was a very easy process. It's a one-stop service, as Pariski mentioned, and with the kind of support we received from all stakeholders in the government ministries, IIPC, BKPM, Ministry of Trade, we opened with our first store in 205 days. That in itself should be one of the fastest for any retailer to enter the market. So the kind of support is there from all the ministries, all the government representatives. I think it's a very investor-friendly country, and people who are willing to kind of set foot in that country, I think it's one of the great markets to be in. We started with the first store in August 2018. September we opened our second Max store, and as we speak, in the month of May, we are opening of our 2 more Max stores, and we are starting off with another brand called Baby Shop by end of this year. So for us, it's a huge market, and with time, we are looking at expanding with more brands. We are not only focusing on Jakarta, we are branching out to other islands, other major cities, because we see huge potential, and those are untapped for us. So we want to expand into those markets as well. In terms of our plan, a very high level plan, what we have for Indonesia, we plan to be a 30 store strong kind of network by the end of 2022. So we're looking at 15 Max stores and 15 Baby Shop stores by financial year 2022. And in terms of retail space, we plan to occupy about 270,000 square feet of retail space in the topmost malls of the country by 2022. And to make this happen, what is key thing is in terms of the various enablers or the drivers. If you look at the infrastructure investment that the government is doing, coupled with that, the kind of skill set you have in the market for retail, and to add that, Indonesia itself is a very strong garment manufacturing base, so it makes local sourcing easier for us. So all these are enablers which are helping us expand aggressively, and we plan to open 30 stores by financial year 22. So I think that's more about our journey in Indonesia. It has been really exciting. I mean, Indonesia is a country with very warm people, so they are always hospitable, welcoming, and I would kind of thank the entire Indonesian team for their support during our expansion phase. Thank you.
On behalf of Landmark Group, I would like to thank all of you, and with the fantastic support that we have received from the government. We were one of the first ones to use the e-licensing process. In fact, I remember that I was there in the KPM office. And one of the most fabulous support that we got from government of Jakarta, from the ministries out there, BKPM, Your Excellencies, thank all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you to my excellent team also, which has made this possible for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much from the Landmark Group. And the last investment testimony will be delivered by Mr. Fodil Benturkia, the CEO and founder of Okadak. The stage is yours.
Hi everyone, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Mr. Minister. I would like to thank you very much for the opportunity to talk and give you a little bit more knowledge about Okadok and about what we have been doing. So, we're at a very early stage as Okadok. allows patients to book appointments instantly with doctor clinics and hospitals. We started in Dubai, we are launching in Saudi Arabia. And what is interesting is that our technology team is based in Indonesia, in Jakarta. So we are a team of about 40 people. We have about 300,000 users in the UAE. We have more than 20 people now in Jakarta. And our technology is Indonesian technology, and it's brilliant. So a lot of people ask the question, why Indonesia? When it comes to technology, usually the companies, they go to India or Eastern Europe or other countries. So that's a question I get almost every day. So what we are seeing is that, first of all, Indonesia is growing extremely fast in terms of technology, and it's leapfrogging a lot of other markets. It's much more interesting in terms of cost and finding talents. India is definitely a great country, but it's been such a hot market, it's been difficult now to find people and retain them. So Indonesia has been really a great experience for us. And what is really interesting, I would like to share with you some very interesting fact. 2 weeks ago, a country like France, who's been in the technology field for almost 20 years, has got its 4th unicorn on. Indonesia has already, I think, crossed the 4th unicorn in only 4 years. So there are amazing companies. We are seeing from a tech perspective, I think 3 weeks ago or a month ago, Google invested $1 billion in one of the leading company called Gojek. There is also a massive e-commerce player called Tokopedia, by Alibaba. And there are many other amazing startups happening there. And today we are looking at not only having our technology team in Indonesia, but we are exploring about opening Indonesia as well. Right? And we're at the very beginning of our stage, and we found Ambassador Hussein and the entire team, Rizky, and the entire team of BKPM, giving us a tremendous support. I think my colleagues earlier were emphasizing that. I think it's very surprising to see such a dedicated team supporting us from the top to literally everyone, helping and supporting each and every company. So our experience has been really surprising, and I would like to thank you very much for your support. I'd like to give you a couple of examples that really surprised me, and I think would definitely surprise you. We've been invited to the RIF, which is the Regional Investment Forum, where we had the chance to meet, to find a lot of investors from the tech field from all over the world, and to meet also a lot of amazing startups in Indonesia. And what was really surprising was that the ministers were there, the governors of the regions were there, the deputy governors were there, and they were not just there to just attend and give a name and leave after 1 hour of speech, which is something that we see very often. No, they were there the entire day, and they were really attending every single session, meeting every single person, giving the time. So this is very surprising to see how much education is given to the smallest startup from the ministers directly. The Minister of CIT, which is Telecommunication and Information, wears sneakers like me, so he's more of a tech guy than a minister from a look perspective. So that shows you how modern and fast changing it is, and that is really surprising. What we're also seeing is that there are clear initiatives, mentioned by the minister a few weeks ago, to be able to create a company in Indonesia in a few hours. So this is also something that is very interesting to see, and definitely supports our willingness to go and open in Indonesia. We are seeing that with these technologies we can solve a lot of problems in the tech health, which is the industry we are in, and we're very excited about hopefully opening soon in Indonesia after finishing all the research that we are doing. And we'd like to really thank you very much for all the support and help that has been given to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fodils. Ladies and gentlemen, and now we have to come to the end of this event. We would like to thank to all of you to come to the Indonesia country presentations. It was an honor for us. We are strongly encourage you to expand your businesses and grow together on Invest in Indonesia. Thank you very much and have a good day.